What up, world? You on the mic with Mike, Mr. Mike, and this is Keep That Chair Spinning. Let's get it. All right, good people, welcome back. As I said, I am your man, Mr. Mike, and this is Keep That Chair Spinning. Hey, man, y'all know what it is. This is a podcast that's geared to some of the up-and-coming barbers, maybe some barbers that's been in the industry for a while, a few years, and just find themselves a little bit stagnant. Hopefully within this podcast, you'll find yourself a couple tips, a few pointers, something that'll get you over the hump, maybe get you back on the grind, and maybe hopefully find you back in love with this career, this business that you once had, when you first started out, or when you came up with the idea that you wanted to go put yourself into school, put that time and that money into it. Hopefully we can get back to that and help you find that love and that passion, because this is a beautiful industry. Again, I've said it before, man, we're getting so much publicity right now with the barbershops in this industry, with all the shows that are going on, man. So this is a great time for you to find that niche, to find your niche, to find your love, your passion, and getting back into this game. And so with that, today I want to speak about mental strength. But before we do get there, man, if you haven't done it already, please do me a solid, do me a favor, man. Go like and subscribe, hit that button, man. Say we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music as well, Apple Podcasts, sorry. So if you haven't done that one, man, already, please go do that for your boy. But like I say, I want to talk about mental strength. I titled this one No Hard Feelings, because you have to, in this industry, kind of be like what they say, a football quarterback or a baseball pitcher. You kind of got to have a short-term memory, man. Like, if you have a customer that's going to blow your spot up, kind of call you out, just tripping over a cut that you've given them, whether it's, the customer service part of it, or if it's the cut itself, like, you have to block that out. You have to go work on the next cut. You know what I mean? You want to take that incident and find a way to get better, and find a way to continue on and not let that put a damper on the rest of your day. It's the same thing if a coworker or even if the owner tells you something in an area that you can tighten up on. You don't want to let that get you sour. You don't want to take that as them hating on you or anything like that. Constructive criticism is what it is, and they're probably seeing something in you that they once saw in themselves, and they're trying to catch you before you make the same mistakes that they made. So you need to be able to have that strength to not let an incident tear you down. Getting back to it, as far as if it's a customer, I got a customer, man, I've been cutting for, man, maybe 4 or 5 years, and it just doesn't matter. I try to remember every single thing that he calls me out for in the last week, and I try to tighten up on those before he can get to it. There's still something that he always says, hey, do you mind touching this up, bring this up? And I promise I take my time on him. I give him my best foot forward every single time. But he is a picky one. And I've said it before, the picky ones is what you want to keep, because it's sharpening you, it's tightening you, and it's just making you better. But you have to have that will within you to take that constructive criticism and understand that it's only making you better. It's only pointing out the things that you do kind of breeze over, thinking that you got it in the bag. Hey, I've been cutting hair for this long. I know what I'm doing. I've cut their hair so many times. Nah, man, we all have off days. We're only human. So take that time to be like, you know what? Hey, I do see that. Or show me again what you're talking about. Let's both look in the mirror together. Because again, your mirror is your best friend. So let's both look, point out, teach me, show me. And now we can work on that, and we can work towards getting that together. But a picky customer, I promise, is what you want. As long as they're doing it in a good manner, a jolly manner, and not just dogging you or making you feel down about yourself or calling you outside your name. Of course, we're not going to stand for that. But as long as they're coming about it at the right way with you, man, keep that on the team, because again, it's only grinding and making you a lot better to slow down and, just shape up what you need to work on, tighten up on some of them areas. But again, you will have a couple unruly customers. Early in your career, like I've said before, it's like blood in the water to a shark. For some reason, some of those customers, man, that are just outright butt heads, they can tell when you're a new barber. They can tell when you've only been at it for a while. So they will kind of pick your patience, and they will kind of critique you times 10. I don't know. I don't know if they feel like they're gonna get something for free out of you or whatever. Don't offer that up. You can let them know I am giving my best effort. And as I say before, is what you always want to try to do is get that communication up on, understood in the beginning right away. There's two parts to a good haircut. It's the barber understanding what is being said and that customer being able to explain it to the barber properly. So those two parts, if you need to run it back to him, man, you say you want a low taper, you want the back a little bit higher, like repeat word for word what they said. Ask them, is this correct? Get all that understood. That way the communication is set. That way when I give you this mirror at the end of this haircut, you're not saying, no, I said a high taper. No, sir. You said a low taper. I asked you back. You repeated it. You said it. You confirmed it. So just cover all your bases. But again, you will have some of those unruly customers, man, just early on. And maybe if you've been at it for a while, man. But the thing is, you got to have that mental strength to not let that break you down. You want to keep pumping out. You want to keep giving out solid cuts, solid customer service. Don't let that stop you from being as friendly with them. You can, if you do go about it right, you will have some customers that do turn into your friends. And that's just being able to have that rapport. I've said that before too. Most of your customers that you do sit in your chair, they're a reflect of you, your characteristics, your sense of humor, your stance in politics, whatever the case may be. 90% of the customers that sit in your chair, they see a little bit of them in you. So what you're pumping out, that's what you're getting. You know what I mean? Like those customers, they love to come to you because they can relate. There's something relatable for sure, and like the conversation or the cut itself. But for me, I always say that they come to you for more than the cut. They can go get a haircut 2 chairs down. They can go get a haircut 2 cities over. They can go get a haircut 2 barbershops over. But they're coming to you for a reason, so you don't want to give them a reason not to come. So like I say, a lot of times you're sitting here and you're pumping your heart out, sitting here trying to talk about what you got going on. A lot of times, them customers are coming to you as well because they do feel like they can talk to you about their same issues. So, I mean, all this goes in together. I know I went a little bit wide right there, but you got to understand that you got to have that mental strength and not fall off track trying to deal with the next customer because the customer before gave you a hard time. Hey, maybe they was having a bad day. Maybe they didn't really remember what they said when they did say that they wanted a high taper, but they told you a low taper. All that happens too, and it's in the game. It's gonna happen. But you need to be able to rebound from that bad incident or that messed up incident or just a situation of misunderstanding, confusion on somebody's part, and keep it moving. One of the things that it says is you have to be teachable because you're not always right. This is true. Again, we're human. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to get it right the first time. I get so tired of these social media barbers that, one, they got the hair paint all on them and all, the white beard line and all that good stuff. But they act as if they never gave a bad haircut. Some will tell you right in their face that they never gave a bad haircut. You can't tell me now one barber jumped fresh out their mama's womb giving out some ice water haircuts. So just know you have to start from somewhere. You are going to mess up. It's okay, but it's all about bouncing back. And again, taking that constructive criticism. You can't wear your barber feelings on your sleeve. That's not what the barbershop is about. you sit here and you can't take the constructive criticism, especially like I say, if it's from the coworker or owner. And by coworker, of course, I'm talking about a veteran, somebody that has been at it for 7-8 years, who has been chewed out a time or two because they gave out a bad haircut, or again, there was a miscommunication on somebody's part. If they pull your coattail and be like, hey, I really wouldn't take that route in doing the things that you are doing, or hey, you came in smelling a little potent last time, be mindful, because you know how the owner runs the shop. Like, he really don't like a lot of that weed smoke or whatever coming through here. Just take it for what it is, tighten up, do better, be better. Because again, that veteran, they've been at the shop for a while. She's been at the shop, he's been at the shop for a while. So they do know how the owner operates. They do have a better understanding of the clientele that comes through there. So they're just pulling your coattails. They're trying to make you better. You should look up to those veteran barbers. Again, everybody does things differently. I'm not saying you need to mimic. I'm not saying that you need to verbatim do what they do. But if their chair is constantly spinning, you need to figure out how can you mimic that and put your own little twist on it and make sure that it gets done. So don't take it that somebody's telling you you're wrong or you're doing wrong, but tell them, just understand that there is an area where you can tighten up, because if they see it, there's a good chance that the customer sees it as well. And even worse, there's a good chance that the owner sees it as well. What you got to be mindful on that is understanding that maybe the owner has seen you always coming in late, but hasn't said nothing. Has noticed that you smell, like reefer, but has decided not to say anything. But all at the same time, they're setting the stage up for you and making it a case against you, basically, because it could be documented, And when it comes time that day, he just lets you go on a Tuesday afternoon. And, you had all these plans, you had all these customers lined up, but everything that y'all talked about at the beginning, when he brought you on or she brought you on, whoever the case, and now you start to violate him because you feel as if we're cool, or he don't really trip because he don't say nothing. I came in last Wednesday, he ain't say nothing. You need to know that you still have something that you need to do. You still owe yourself. And again, that's the misconception that a lot of barbers have as well. They feel like because you come a barber and you call yourself self-employed, my own boss, there's always going to be rules, no matter where you are. If you're working in a suite, if you're working at somebody else's shop, and it's the same thing. You can't tell me that you're gonna go open up your shop and you're just gonna have weed smoke coming up and through there. You're gonna have bottles and shots and all this being passed around while little kids are running around and the moms are running around. I guarantee that shop won't remain open long. And again, we're in a review society right now where them kids' parents are gonna go jump on that page, your page, and your personal, and just leave all these reviews saying how unfit it is for them to bring their their family in. And again, you don't want that. Now you're hindering yourself and you're making yourself shorten down on the type of clientele that you can have. You went to school to cut every type of hair, so you need to cover your bases and just be more on the professional side so that you can do that, so that you can cut off all types of hair, because with it comes a wide range of people and different characteristics and different beliefs. But when you're inside the shop, you need to treat it for work. So when you get your veteran barbers or your owner that's pulling your coattail, that's pulling you to the side and saying, hey, I wouldn't do that, hey, I tried it out, or maybe asking why wouldn't you take that route? Or even bring it to them before you decide to get a little crazy. Hey, what do you think about this? I was thinking about running this type of special, or I was thinking about posting this, or I was thinking about coming tomorrow. I mean, communication is key. So open up that line with the veteran or with the owner and see what they think before you jump out there all AWOL and go crazy. Because again, now you come in on Tuesday afternoon, you showed up at 10 or 11, but the shop opened at 8 and 9, and you think that you're just gonna do what you need to do, to get you by. But we're telling you, the walk-ins are coming in. You missed them. There were 2 at 8. I got here at 10. It's slow, all that good stuff. But we opened at 8. You missed 2. And again, that's the other half. A lot of barbers think that, the owner or the rest of the shop will always call you or text you, hey man, there's a walk-in. Nah, we trying to eat as well. It's on you that decide to sleep in. It's on you that decide to go ahead and take a 2-hour lunch. I'm not gonna call you. I'm trying to feed my family too, and it is first come first serve. So I'm not gonna, just let this customer sit here either. If you really wanted the money, if you really wanted the cut, you would be here. So you have to be open, be receptive when someone is telling you that you could tighten up in better areas. Again, whether it's the coworker or the customer, be open, be receptive, and just see if, how can you rewire your brain to work towards doing better in that department. That's all. But it's all about mental strength, having the ability to forget this bad incident that you just had, this run-in that you had last week or a couple hours ago with a customer or even with a coworker, the owner, and just figure out how to reshape and get better and do better. Take your feelings off your sleeve. No hard feelings involved. We're all about doing better. And you want to be in a shop where people do pull your coattail and do inform you in other areas that they can do better, because that's what an actual team is all about. You're not gonna get that in a suite, because nobody can tell you, hey, you were tripping right there. Like, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have taken that phone call, blah, blah, whatever the case may be. You're not gonna always be able to get that in a suite. When you get around a good family environment, someone that can tell you, hey, no, hey, yes, keep going. That's what it's all about. But just be teachable, because you're not always right. We're human, we're gonna mess up. But when you got someone that's on your side, that's riding with you, just take it for what it is. And, give a thanks, tell them thank you, man, and just learn how to do better, man. That's what it's all about. Keeping that chair spinning at all costs. You ain't gotta sell your soul, but you can definitely do better all across the board, every single day. Every day is a chance to become a better person, to be a better barber, to be a better provider for yourself and your family. That's what it all comes down to. Y'all know what it is, man. I love it. I love y'all. Appreciate it. Go like, subscribe. If you haven't, mental strength. No hard feelings, man. Shake it off and keep it moving. One love. Holla.